Basically, he didn't go uni. He just came to see me. You can go.
Basically. So I've got a friend who he naturally recharges his battery by being around people. And
that's fast.
do you know what I mean? And
Sorry, that gave me shivers.
there was a time where I went on holiday 10 times in a year.
And rent-to-rent money, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, is just chicken change.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Property Project podcast, where we talk all things property, but also help you to resolve some of the dilemmas that you come up with.
But before you do that, we'd love if you could help us by liking the video, subscribing to our channel so you could get more content from us. Who are you before property?
Who was I before property?
How do you think that you've changed from how you were before to now? Like, what are the things that you think are different?
I think there's stages to this, right? So I think at the very beginning, I was very shy. Okay, so people know about 50% of my personality. Those close to me know I'm an absolute madwoman. Like, there's nothing sane about me. I'm here for a good time.
My nieces and nephews see that as well.
Yeah, like, I'm literally kid level. Like, I'm probably very annoying. Like, I can be screaming.
Absolutely not.
I can be screaming and shouting, belting out in the morning at 6 a.m. I'm sure my neighbors hate me, but I don't think before property people were able to see like even a slight part of that side if you don't know me. So I think I was very shy and reserved at the very beginning, like before the property journey. I'm not a mingler. I don't go out and speak to people. I don't enjoy being in other people's company. I don't necessarily like people, but yeah, that's pretty much how I was before.
Yeah.
I'm very entertained by myself. Like, slap on a baddies, slap on, I know.
That's the worst.
So I know. Slap on maths, you know, give me a documentary, like anything like that.
Yeah.
And by myself, boy, oh my days. What a good day. What a good day. But I think that's always how I've been.
Yeah.
Even like uni, like my friends will tell you, they all went to lectures. I stayed right at where I paid for my accommodation is where you'll find me.
I never understood that, you know.
Never.
To this day, I'm not going to lie. To this day,
I went to one lecture.
To this day, I thought to myself, on that day, because obviously I didn't know how uni worked. I was just there for fun in it. But like...
Basically, he didn't go uni. He just came to see me. You can go.
Basically. It's so crazy because some of my friends, they even say to me, oh, do you remember that time where you came to my whole town, my whole uni town, and didn't tell me? Imagine, just for you, you know.
That's
anyway, I guess my investment was worth it.
You're so silly.
Oh man, but yeah, like I don't know. I feel like
yeah, it was strange to know that I was at home when everybody else was going to uni.
Yeah, so I remembered what I was gonna say. Like, I just didn't get how when you said that you passed, and I was thinking, obviously, well done.
But how?
But I was thinking how, because every time you was the only one at home.
Yeah. Like beginning to end. And the thing is, I don't like outside. So it's not like I was going outside and exploring and doing other things in my day or getting creative. Like, I just am an indoor babe. You're not going to get anything else out of me. To this day, it's exactly the same. Like, all my friends absolutely adore them, but they know, don't invite me. I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Like, I'll come to anything that's like house, like home, and like birthdays, special events, like those kind of things.
Yeah.
But if you just want to go on a random Saturday to an event, like, don't even bother.
Yeah.
Because I won't.
It's the inconvenience, innit?
Yeah. So that's how I've always been. Again, didn't go to lectures. I went to one lecture across the 3 years, stayed indoors, didn't do anything else. So I've always been that way. I feel like at the beginning of property, I definitely became, and someone else said something to me like that kind of had been with us from the start of our journey. It's like, it's so nice to see you like more confident. So it definitely gave me the confidence. I feel like I always feel confident when I know stuff.
Yeah.
If I don't know stuff, you're not really going to hear much from me. I don't really know much about the government, don't really care. Shoot me. Don't shoot me. All these kind of things. If I don't really care about it, like, you're not going to hear much from me. But if I'm very, very passionate, like my job or, you know, this business, then you're going to hear a lot more. So then that was happening. And then after, I think now, like, moving deep into the business, I feel like I've gone back to being a bit more of a recluse. I don't really like speaking to people like that. And I'm struggling at the moment to speak to people. But I would say that you would never have caught me 4 years ago on a podcast.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, because I think I did mention to you about let's do a podcast for ages ago.
No, you said to me, come on to you because
actually no, yeah. So I was doing another podcast, and
When you told me to come on, that
said,
you're going to
yeah.
bring like,
Or everyone
He
was
was
going to bring on their partners and that. And what if, I don't even think I got the whole question out before you shut me down and told me
it's not going to happen.
But yeah, I do think you've come a long way, and it's good to see.
I don't need your approval.
I didn't say that you needed it. You know what? This is why if I just give you your flowers, you're not getting no more flowers. Man. You might get a leaf. But yeah, for me, I feel like it's before I was definitely someone who was, I think, very like rigid and stuck in my ways. That I had a system for everything.
Is the system gone?
No, not fully, but it's been altered so that I can still function.
I definitely would agree.
I can still function. And I think that what used to kind of have us butting heads a lot is that you was kind of like...
spontaneous.
I'm still like, you keep...
I just want to make sure the truth gets out there.
Anyway. I feel like a lot of what you'd say would just be like, I'll be like, why have you done that? Because have you not thought about this? Have you not calculated that? Have you not factored in that? But at the same time, I thought, you know what? Okay, maybe I can let loose a little. Do you know what I mean? The world's not gonna end just because I missed one thing. It could end. It could. But
that means it was always going to.
But yeah, it's true. I think that has definitely changed. I think my willingness to be like you sometimes, in terms of just
be an individual. You don't
no. But I mean, just be free sometimes and not care.
I care.
You do. You do. What else? I think my confidence as well has grown in terms of, again, as you said, like when you're speaking about something that you know, and you know that not a lot of people outside know as well. Sometimes when you're speaking about it, or if it's a topic, you know, I've got a lot to weigh in. I've got a lot to say about this subject. But yeah, I feel like that as well. I do want to grow my confidence a little bit more. To again, I'm talking about why is your eyes rolling? Eyes will get
I think
stuck,
you're actually naturally a confident person. What I would say though that you changed is you're not out there as much.
Do you know what?
Like at one point I thought going outside probably actually caused you a little bit of anxiety, like, which is so weird for me to see you that way, because I feel like you were definitely the extroverted personality out of both, like 100%. And from like just the off, like if you don't know us, I can easily say that I come across more extroverted, but actually we are the complete opposite. Like you are way more extroverted. Like if they threw you in a room with 1,000 people you don't know, you'd probably be like, oh, shit, okay, like, sorry, mum. Like, damn, this isn't, this is not comfortable, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
If they threw me in a room of 1,000 people, I might call the ambulance.
Yeah.
I might call the ambulance and say, something's happening to me.
You start blowing
Please come and get me. Yeah, come and get me now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like I've always felt like I'm a extroverted introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert. It depends, because sometimes I can be out there and I can throw myself into the situation that I'm in when I'm out, but then after my social battery is drained, like, do you know what I mean?
I don't believe in this extroverted, introverted, and then introverted, extroverted thing, because I think it's just natural human behavior. So like, I feel like, not me getting into social work, but I feel like an extrovert naturally will at times want to be by themselves because they're so extroverted, because they like time with people, because they spend a lot of time with others. Of course, there's going to be a time when your social battery drains and you need to be by yourself. So I'm not sure if I believe necessarily that I think you're an extrovert who naturally, because you're so extroverted, will need time by yourself.
I used to
and the same thing with an introverted person who just likes at times being like, I love like hen party weekend with my friends, celebrate my friend's upcoming wedding.
Yeah.
What? Best time of my life.
But it all depends though, because I've got a friend who he naturally recharges his battery by being around people. And
that's wild.
Do you know what I mean? And
sorry, that gave me shivers.
I can't imagine that not needing.
No, you are like that. What are you talking about? You are like that.
It depends on who you
like. I even think you get miserable when you haven't seen people for a while. You will like get into your thoughts and be like, and then I haven't gone and seen this person, and we haven't been able to do nothing. We haven't had games nights. Like do that is actually you. Whereas I could probably go, you know, them like experiments where it's like you're sitting in a jail cell and it's just like you and the four walls.
Yeah.
Like, how long can you last? Bridget, I can like, believe me.
No, you would definitely make up your own imaginary
Give me something
friend.
Imaginary friend or something to knit, and I will sit there and learn how to do that forget that I've been in there for like 60 days and be like, I finally learned how to do it. Give me something else.
No, I hear
But
it.
I think we're quite different in that aspect.
Yeah, 100%. Would you say that let's be honest here, right? Would you say that you're happier now than before you started property?
I'm going to be honest. Do you know what? I don't like speaking about friends and family situations because then it leaves friends and family thinking, are you talking about me? But, and that's just natural. But I feel like, yes, I am happier because I do feel like one thing I wanted for myself was to actually be more confident. I think I'm naturally somebody, which I take pride in, who does a lot for other people. Yeah. Like, I will put everybody else's needs first before my own. Yeah. Which aligns with the job that I do. Yeah. But property's really taught me to be a little bit selfish in a way that doesn't necessarily, like, if it impacts other people, it impacts other people. It shouldn't, but if it does, just accept it. And I like that about myself. But with that comes a personality shift, a dynamic shift where people are not used to seeing you in that light. So I would say, yes, personally, I like the growth and development, like personal development, the belief, like I used to speak a lot of negative things onto myself, which goes against even like my religion, how like it just doesn't align. Yeah. But I feel like naturally with this finding purpose and pairing that with like faith, I feel like that has made me feel a bit better in terms of like who I am. Yeah. It's made me understand who I am, what I bring to the table, right? Yeah. And I think that actually also helped our relationship a lot. However, you got to understand that as you grow, not even, people make it a malicious thing, like, oh, people don't want to see you win. I don't think it's even that. I think people then struggle to see and relate to the new you. Yeah. I feel like that's definitely the thing, and then also you being able to deal with the fact that they see you in a different light, and how they respond to that, because someone will be used to you being a certain way, and they're shocked when they're not seeing that person no more. They're thinking, who is this? And they will probably even try, and it might not be a bad thing that you've changed, but because it's not something that they're used to, they will then say like, oh, you're not the same, you're not doing the things that you used to do, and if you're not strong in your mind, you can easily think that that's a bad thing. But it's just part of the evolution. I feel like I would say I'm definitely happier. There's times where I probably don't feel it, but I feel like I'm definitely happier because before, again, as I said, like I was very like regimented and if that's the word, and like just in a routine, and that routine technically would have just led me to believe that I'm supposed to be in a 9-to-5 and up until I'm flipping retirement age, and that's all I'm supposed to do, and I'm supposed to stack my money, go on holiday whenever, and just be in that constant cycle. But then being in this, in property and on the journey and experiencing so many different things has just kind of allowed me to realize that there's so much more to life. There's so much more to life, even to the point where there's people out there that talk about recession and struggle. But there's also, and that's not to say that there isn't, right? But there's also people that aren't talking about that because they're the ones who have taken the risk to put themselves out of that bubble. And they're still living their lives. And even in the recession and all these tariffs that are being added by Trump and all that, people don't care because they've got what they need. They've taken the risk to separate themselves from that. And that showed me that although that's where they are, and I might not be there yet, but I can still get there if I really want to. Do you know what I mean? And it's just given me the confidence that to be able to move in a certain way, to know that I'm no longer doing things for other people. I'm not people pleasing. I'm doing things, I'm making decisions because it's what my future self wants. And I think I would always have those thoughts, but I would never act on it before because it's like, oh, I just want to make sure everyone's happy before and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm like that anymore. How do you find the idea of not being able to align with us, especially as I think we talk about it as women quite a bit, but obviously we can cut this out if you don't want it in. But you struggled to kind of outside of business find the things you love again. How was that for you?
That one, oh yeah, all right, cool. So that there was, It was a mix, because it was like happy and sad. Because it's like everything you spend your life, obviously, kind of you define yourself by, you know, your experiences and everything like that. But when you step back and actually look and you think, actually, you know what I thought that I've liked for 30 plus years, you know, I actually no longer like that anymore.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's scary, because then you start to think, okay, so what do I like?
Yeah.
And that's the thing now. And you're thinking, right, like what, like if I don't like that, if I'm not playing football, who am I? But then I always understand, like, I don't know, I've kind of looked at it like, all right, let me slow down, because my mind's going crazy right now. But sometimes I used to think to myself, like, so I used to play, obviously, football semi-professionally, and I love football. Like, it was my way of getting, you know, just relaxing my brain and just having fun. And when I got injured and I couldn't play football the way I wanted to for a while, I thought to myself, okay, so what am I going to do? Like, what am I doing? I used to look at other people and think, right, what do you do with your weekend if you ain't playing football? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
But after a while, I then had to change my mindset, because I then started to slip into a little bit of depression, because that happened around the time, and I think not too long after that, COVID kind of hit, and
that was a horrible time.
Yeah, so you had COVID where you couldn't go outside. You had
an extrovert who enjoys being outside.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, because I hate being cooped up in the house.
Yeah.
I can do it if there's an end goal.
Yeah.
But I hate
or
being
if it's for like a couple days, where it's like you have, like you said, that's still an end goal where you know that you are going to be watching movies.
There's going to be a day,
something.
where I've got a release date. But so you had COVID where you couldn't go outside anyway. But then on top of that, I just had surgery, which I couldn't move anyway, and I was learning to kind of start to walk again, and it was just all of that stuff. But if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have gotten into property the way we have now. And again, obviously, I was happy. You know, I always said that I would play football up until I was 70. But yeah, I think it was that moment where we had a discussion, and we kind of realized that actually there's things that I used to love, I no longer love anymore. It was scary, because it's like, who am I? But then I looked at the other side. There's so much more out there to learn about and find out if I actually love that. There's more of a world to have a look at. There's more things to do. There's more hobbies to take up. So all of that stuff, there's more friends to make. Do you know what I mean? So all of that stuff, it was scary and good at the same time. But yeah, I'm more excited about that. Sad that it's gone, but it's always, the memory's always going to be up here. So so
it's crazy how individuals experience COVID. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you loved it, innit? You loved it.
Don't ask me back out. Gosh.
You actually loved it. I never get it.
No one can ask me to come out. What? People are asking to see me? What a brilliant time. That was great.
Man. But question for you. Would you recommend your journey to your younger self? Yeah, for sure. This is the better version of me. This is 100% the better version of me. Like, I'm excited to see the best of me, but this is definitely the better version of me, for sure. So I would say, yes, I wish my younger self would start a lot sooner. Yeah.
Because younger self was enjoying, living on we obviously live on our own now, but living on our own, having no responsibilities, being on 5 holidays a year, you getting your dream car. Like, I enjoyed all of that. Like, not that I care about the cars, I care about the holidays, but it was enjoyable. We were both doing things that we really, really loved to do, but it was the same. I don't understand how we did it. It was the same thing every day.
Yeah,
it was the same pattern every day. And I look back and I think, how did you do that? Now our days are so different. So different. It's like you're having meetings with different people. It's different situations happening. You enjoy being out with people more. Like, I realized, like, going to my friend's hen party, I actually, although the first night I struggled because, again, it was like big groups. After that, like, I was like, I miss this. Like, I've missed being out, and you pay more attention to the things that you used to do that you can no longer do in that kind of way.
Yeah.
Like holidays. Like, we're going on holiday. We have not been on holiday for like 6 months, probably longer.
What are you talking now?
Yeah, we've not been on holiday for like...
It's been almost a year, man.
No, it hasn't. You always say that.
Where have you been?
We literally went out with like our goddaughter's parents.
Yeah, to where?
We took them on their like
Exactly. That literally happened at the end of May. So it's been 11 months.
That was October. That was
no. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. That time dysmorphia. It's crazy. I told you. By the time we go, it's literally gonna be May again. It's gonna be 12 months from people who.
I feel sick.
There was a time where I went on holiday 10 times in a year.
No, Sean came off a plane.
Yeah.
Went to go and get his haircut and went back on a plane. No, that's we can actually provide evidence. I picked him up from did we come back from somewhere?
No, we came back from
somewhere. Yes.
And then I got a haircut.
I dropped him to his haircut and then he took himself back to the airport.
Yeah. Actually, you went home to go and get some stuff for me.
There we go.
And then picked me up after I got the haircut.
Yeah.
And then took me to the
that was Sean.
Yeah.
That was Sean. I understood being away from Sean. That's one thing that you definitely and your family have given me. Like I wasn't really for like going away. I was like, I love the UK. I'm definitely a UK babe. What? UK in the summer? You dumb. I'll wait for that. But now like I really appreciate being abroad, like soaking up different like cultures, environments, foods, like just so many different things. Peace, like scenery. I love scenery. So really soaking up there. But it's crazy that we could do that before. But now everything's about the business. The fact that we've not been away for a year is wild. Yeah. That's wild to me. That's not even like the same
And I think that's why we just decided, you know what, life is for living.
Yeah.
Because so many times that we looked at the potential of maybe going away.
Yeah.
We've had to turn down some holidays that we really wanted to go on. Like for example, Mauritius last October.
Yeah, that was
we really
sad.
wanted to go for our friend's wedding.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do that. And that's what this journey is about.
Yeah.
Certain sacrifices that you have to make, and you just have to reward you. In fact, if you make that sacrifice, you owe even more to yourself to get the result that you was looking for because you made that sacrifice.
And it was hard because I think it was the wedding versus our like current dream home. Getting that all, and then work. You had work. Work. It was just a lot of things. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I'm sad because we saw the pictures and everyone looked amazing.
That
and
one there was just.
Yeah, we weren't talking about it anymore. The hurt is still there.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you say to would you advise this to your younger self, the journey that you've been on?
100%. Obviously, I was gonna say like, yes, part of me does wish that I started earlier. In everything that I do, I always think, what would have happened if I started earlier?
Literally.
But at the same time, I'm grateful for the experiences that I had because, again, obviously, living by ourselves, moving out of mum's, having the car that I had. So just for, again, full transparency, at 22, 23, I had a car that was like worth 60 grand. And
the house.
And
you did
the
so
house,
good for yourself, honestly.
Thank you. I did it myself.
Yeah, she did though.
No,
I actually can't lie.
But I was just thinking like, there were times where I just thought to myself, like, I loved that car. But at the same time, it's like, oh no, I'm glad I was able to experience it. And that's why I'm not in such a rush to do it all again. I do, yes, of course, obviously, I do want to be able to drive around in comfort.
I'm in a rush. Don't listen to Sean.
I hear it, but I'm honestly not in a rush because especially when you live in London and you're at the same traffic light.
Mate, listen.
And you're driving at the same 20 mile per hour.
I think just a side note of all the cost, the living cost that we've got right now, our bills alone, amount to
Not you laughing.
There's no point. There's actually no point, Then on top of that, we've got to think about wedding costs, which I know we're putting off. I don't know. You know, you lot that get married and you just take pictures and you're like, best day ever. Why are you not talking about the costs? Because I actually went to look for a venue, and I saw the cost and I said, absolutely not. We will get married on sand. And that's just fine. Like, I'm okay. Let's all shake hands.
This is it.
Raise a glass on sand.
One little spud.
It's fine. You know what I mean? Someone with their, what's them cameras? Them old cameras. It will do just fine. Do a little curl in the front of my hair. It's all good.
You don't even need like a bouquet. You could just get one little flower that I get from the field.
Take this pot. Honestly, it's actually fine. It's actually fine because what is the cost? And I just think I'm ready now. I don't want to speed up and like do something that's not within my speed, my lane, my journey. But if God wants to put it any time earlier, I'm not gonna say no.
100%.
I'm gonna say let's go. But I just think all the costs right now are mad, and I feel like you know, we're working, we're running the business, we've got like things that we're trying to get, and it does amount to a lot. But yeah, I think the journey is meant for us, and I think
that's
it's exactly how it should be.
That's exactly we're where we're supposed to be.
Apparently so, yeah.
No,
we are. I'm joking.
No, we definitely are. But I don't know. I just feel like we're where we're supposed to be. But that even brings me on to the next thing, right? Which is kind of a lot of people probably feel looking at social media that they're not where they're supposed to be because other people are glamorizing success of property, rent to rent, service accommodation.
Do you want me to talk? Tell the truth. Talk the truth. Yeah. Do you want me to talk?
Listen, just like, you know me already. You don't need to be name dropping because no one's paid us for ads.
Sometimes you
no, but no one's paid us for ads.
Tell the truth.
No one's paid us for ads.
No, I won't name drop. I don't believe in the cancel the cancel culture. I don't believe in that, to be honest. I just think make your decision on someone and let it be what it needs to be. Like, well, I just think it's just all too much. You know, I don't mind for a story time. That's okay. Like eliminating people's names and stuff. But just all this like exposing people is a bit too much for me. But what I will say is the new wave of youngsters that are coming in is great to see, because like I was speaking to somebody else about it, and they were saying they went to an event and the event was kind of acknowledging the event 10 years, 15 years ago would have been, you know, middle-aged men, you know, probably predominantly white males and Asian males in space of property. But now we're seeing a lot of the black community come into the space with or without money.
A lot of females.
But also a lot of females and a lot of young people. Like everyone's a landlord at 16 at this point. But what I would say is it's to those that are coming in and to the younger lot, because sometimes, not all the time, with a younger age comes a more naive mentality because you haven't experienced as much. So
exactly. You haven't lived life.
No, you haven't lived life. What I would have thought at 18, 17, I thought I was a grown person with like no one could fool me, no one could do this or do that. You learn as you go how to protect yourself throughout the world. Yeah. And I just think to the new wave that are coming in, be mindful that what people are telling you, what people are showing online isn't what it's shown. The amount of people that I've seen post Lamborghinis, they're like, stop going to Dubai, people. Stop going to Dubai. I don't want you to go to Dubai anymore. Come home. Come home. We want you back. The Brits, we want you back.
Absolutely.
Stay at home.
Go to Dubai if you want.
But there's a level to it.
Yeah, there's a level to it.
And you know where I'm going with it. It's not just about going to Dubai, but you can't go to Dubai, open a fast car and be like, this is how I made £100,000.
And then next thing you know, you're black in Blackheath. You're black in Blackheath. You're back in Blackheath. Like literally.
It needs to make sense, because a lot of what people are conveying right now is, first of all, invest in Dubai. Everybody's got to research that. Like, I'm not saying whether that's good or not, but you've got to research it for yourself, because I don't know where this new trend has come, and like this off plan. I don't even know how you make your money from it, and I've got to learn. But it's not. It doesn't sound enticing to me. I don't understand it. Yeah. But also, what people are doing is moving to Dubai or going to Dubai to prove wealth. And I don't think being in Dubai proves wealth. I think Dubai is a made up land that people are making it what they want it to be, in my opinion.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
You know, go in there, of course, you're around people that are very like successful and wealthy and everything like that. And
that's why it's whole and like a created land.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But again, it's just like, it's a thing where if you're going there to live the lifestyle, but earn your right to kind of be there.
No, tell the truth. That's all I care about. Be in Dubai. But don't say, okay, I think what we're trying to clarify here is people are going to Dubai saying it's rent to rent money. It's not rent to rent money. There's no rent to rent money unless you're doing buy to SA, which is like buying the property and then converting it into a property that runs as a service accommodation or Airbnb. Yeah. You are not making that kind of funds. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Or unless you have like 200 plus rent to rents. Yeah. You're not permanently traveling between this place, this place, this place, this place. And I mean anyone, I actually don't have anybody in mind, but what I'm seeing is a full-on trend of people in the rent-to-rent space saying, if you want to live in Dubai, you're going to have 5 properties. Mate, I've got 15 and I'm still in South London. Yeah. So don't tell me that, oh yeah, you can be in Dubai. And we're very clever with our money. Like we want to do better. We want to be financially literate. So...
But we haven't done a lot of stuff because we're in the process of building. I feel like going to Dubai is like growing a tree but cutting the branch.
Money. You can go to you're using rent to rent money once. Don't tell me you're going. You live a life of.
You could if no. Let's just have it right, because let's have it right.
Let's have it right.
Because you could if it's systematically set up for you to do that, for you to be free.
You can get first class trips.
No, I didn't say. See, I didn't say that.
Okay, that's what I'm. We're talking about two different lifestyles.
Okay, all right, cool.
So I'm talking about you're going in a.
You're talking Chanel bags. You're talking Coach bags.
Today I just want to go and just get my
suicide doors. You're talking about
none of that. I personally don't believe it.
I get it.
Because I've seen the work that goes behind rent to rent, and rent to rent money. When you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's just chicken change.
Yeah.
It's not like I said, summer months we could do great and be making 10k. That's chicken change.
Yeah.
10k can drop from your pocket tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Like where the money is, I feel like it's when you're making that 50k plus a month.
Yeah.
Until you get to that stage, that 10 to 50 can go so easy. That's not to say it's not amazing that you're doing that and that you're hitting that. But don't sell me on Dubai with rent to rent, because the two don't mesh. Rent to rent's purpose is to gain cash flow to do other strategies that are going to get you to Dubai. Not for rent to rent to be a cash flowing asset that gets you to Dubai. It don't make sense. And that
100%.
It don't make sense.
And that doesn't mean that you can't go on holiday.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, you're going to come back at some point and then you're going to get to work. But don't act like that's going to be your lifestyle if you're just still scratched.
Just don't. It's not even that. Let it be your lifestyle. For me, it's don't pretend that that's what's like funding it, because that's not what's funding it. If you're going back and forth in between Dubai, wherever you're going, like I don't know other like wealthy places, Miami or whatever, wherever you're going, and you're saying you're doing these travels 6 times a year. I know that you've got another something that funnels that you're trying to make it seem as if it's rent to rent, and that's not the case. Like other people have like mentoring, and that's fine. I just say that you're making more mentoring money than you are rent to rent. You started off within rent to rent. You've now grown your business to be able to help other people, and now you're making money through your mentoring, and that's what's taking you to Dubai. That's okay, Like why is everyone so scared to say it? Like I want my mentoring money to make me more money than my rent to rent, so I can dash the rent to rent.
It's your knowledge wrapped up in a product.
Exactly.
So,
because rent to rent is if you want to look at it in chains, rent to rent is like, okay, let's say if you're in a restaurant, it's the server. It's at the bottom of the food chain. It's not until you then become like assistant manager, and let's say that's when you start selling like deal constantly, and like you're selling BRR deals, and then you get to the management level, and then as a manager you get into BRRs, then you own the restaurant, and now you're a developer. That's what you need to see it like. So when people are telling me they're going to Dubai based on rent to rent money, and they allow them to do all this, that, and they've got, you ain't paying your bills or your taxes. Like which one?
And they've just got 1 or 2. It don't make sense.
But anyway,
we digress. We will leave it there. But again, obviously, as we spoke about, we've definitely changed, but I feel like we've changed for the better.
The property space will do that for you.
But just don't change too much.
No, change. I think change. No? we'll agree to disagree. But property does put you in a space where you can evolve and be better. Don't be afraid to do that. But understand with that comes a lot of changes in your surroundings and your environment. But again, as we always say, you have any questions, we've probably been there. Just ask us, and we'd love to hear from you.
Sweet.
The end.
Cool. Thank you for watching to the end, guys. We really appreciate it. As a little thank you gift to you, we'd like to give you an invite to join our free WhatsApp community where we drop a lot of gems.
If you're still watching, then thank you so much. But more importantly, if you could like and subscribe to this channel to help us bring you more content that we know you'll just love.